Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight. Welcome back to Dead Cells The Foundry update. Looks like we've got a pretty good start here. I mean, all things considered, I mean, that's pretty nice. The ability to freeze enemies right off the bat, not bad. It also means this is probably going to turn into a tactics run, but then again, every run turns into a tactics run sooner or later, doesn't it? I mean, granted, we haven't beat the game with the meat skewer yet, so it would actually probably be in our interest to at least make the effort to, you know, do something different, but I kind of want to go with, you know, something safe. And I mean, like, before we've even got out of the first level, we have already completely, I tells ya, changed our setup, so that's interesting. Also, to absolve myself of any responsibility now, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I may or may not be ever so slightly inebriated starting off this episode, by which I mean I had a single glass of wine. Ooh. Seriously, though. I don't know why. I just made dinner and then I thought to myself, you know what? I don't drink very often. I'm going to have a drink. And so I pulled out a little bottle of ice wine that I, for some reason, had sitting in the fridge. And, I mean, it was a really tiny bottle. I didn't even fill a cup with it. Not even a full cup. Not even half a cup. And I basically watered it down to a full cup anyway. So, you know, like, I'm probably, like, not even affected at all. Dang it, Microsoft. I don't want any updates right now. I mean, I'm probably not any, like, less coherent than I normally am, I guess is where I'm going. I just felt like mentioning it so I could be like, ooh, edgy. Gaming by Gaslight gets drunk while recording his videos. Ooh, what a badass. Men want to be him, women want to be with him, etc., etc. Seriously, though. Yeah. That's, not exactly how it works. I mean, not in this day and age, anyway. I mean, yeah. If we were living in Prohibition times, I'd be considerably, you know, considerably more badass. Ooh, Gaming by Gaslight admits that he's getting intoxicated, you know, in an age where buying alcohol is illegal, and also apparently in this weird alternate universe, that's what I meant to say. It's definitely not an ultimate universe if alcohol is illegal. But anyway, yeah, in this weird alternate universe, Gaming by Gaslight admits online that he's getting intoxicated. But now that I think about it, I forget whether, like, in ye old Prohibition era, whether, like, the act, like, drinking itself was illegal, or if it was just, like, possessing and purchasing alcohol. You know, I'm not sure. You know, you'd figure. I mean, I have to assume it's both. But, you know, I could be wrong. It could be one of those things where it's like, oh, we don't care if you get drunk somehow, but good luck getting drunk because alcohol is illegal, you know, except for all those speakeasies everywhere, because screw the law and stupid rules that are put in place by fundamentalist Bible thumpers who have probably never actually read the Bible, and forget the fact that Jesus himself encourages people to drink his blood, which is also wine. I mean, obviously that's a metaphor, but, you know, not to mention the fact that, you know, there are plenty of stories of people back in the old biblical times enjoying a responsible drink or two. I mean, I think we can all agree that if Prohibition has taught us anything, I mean, mostly Prohibition in the United States, since when I talk about Prohibition, I assume that's what I'm talking about, because I can't off the top of my head think of any other places in the world that actually, like, had a similar Prohibition. I mean, I know it was discussed here in Canada, but I'm pretty sure the Prohibitionists did not win that vote. Of course, then again, considering how there is, like, you know, how well-known Canadians are for our delightful ability to drink, then, you know, it'd be weird living in a Canada where apparently that was just, like, the absolute peak of depravity. But then again, if getting drunk is the worst you can do, you're still probably doing pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong. getting intoxicated, like, just for the sake of getting intoxicated. I mean, like, getting completely blackout drunk just for the sake of it is probably not exactly something that anyone should be aspiring towards, but I don't think it's up to society to tell us that we can't do it. I mean, understandably, as part of society, we do have to consider the fact that consequences of, like, that kind of behavior do impact more than just the people who are getting drunk, but even so, I mean, I guess that's kind of, like, the difficult part in society, isn't it, is figuring out, like, where do we draw the line? Where do we make rules and laws and regulations? Ow, good job. And where do we say, you know what? That's enough. We gotta let people figure this out for themselves. And to be honest, just my personal opinion here, but I think sometimes, at least here in North America and Canada and stuff, based on some news stories I've read in the not too distant past, I think maybe at times we're going a little bit in the wrong direction when it comes to, you know, like, letting the government, like, make laws and regulations and stuff, rather than, again, like, leaving it to personal responsibility. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand where, like, people could be well-meaning with that sort of thing. It's like, well, we don't want people to get hurt, we don't want people to, you know, we don't want, like, bad stuff to happen, so we want to pass laws in order to protect people. But, you know, at what point do you draw the line here? I mean, you can't regulate free will, I guess, is where I'm going with this, like, quasi-political rant here. Or just rant about society in general. But, yeah, it's a difficult thing. I figure it is probably, I would agree with those who say it's probably better to err on the side of caution when it comes to these sorts of things. And try to have less... Hey, listen, buddy. Try to have less laws and regulations rather than more. But, I mean, still important to listen to the ideas that come out. But again, you know, let us not get too carried away. After all, the road to hell, ow, is paved with good intentions. And there is many a man, and woman for that matter, who is set out to make the world a better place, and ultimately ended up causing, perhaps, a little bit more, you know, problems than they may have bargained for. But, you know, I'm not going to cite any real-life examples. Mostly because I can't really think of, like, a really good, like, you know, shocking example right now. But, you know, there is that. Yeah. Don't always need to be shocking. I mean, after all, this is just a casual gaming channel. This isn't like Gaming by Gaslight or like Politics by Gaslight. Let's discuss all the things that are messed up and wrong in the world. But this is just, hey, let's have a good time, but maybe occasionally casually mention the fact that our world is not perfect. There's totally messed up stuff going on. We have like crazy people running, you know, got like literally the inmates are running the asylum in some countries. You know, no names given, because frankly that's a statement that could apply to just about any nation, either, you know, first world or not. In this day and age, there's a lot of crazy people out there. And all we can do... Ow. Once again, I'm doing a really good job at not taking damage. All we can do is attempt to regulate the crazy sometimes. Oh. Oh dear. Beautiful. And stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, I don't really want to get too into, ooh, Gaming by Gaslight, talking edgy politics and stuff that aren't really that edgy because he doesn't really know what he's talking about. I mean, I try to stay informed about life, the universe, and everything, but I would be a fool if I told you I had all, most, or even some of the answers. Well, maybe I have some, because some implies a value greater than 0, but I would be lying if I said that if you put me in charge and elect Gaming by Gaslight 20 18 or whenever, you know, wherever the next election in your nation of origin or choice is, yeah. I mean, it'd be probably pretty dangerous voting Gaming by Gaslight because, frankly, I'm an idiot. Well, maybe not an idiot. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself, but at least I'm willing to admit that I don't know everything, unlike some people. But, I'm not really directing that particular comment at anyone in particular, just, you know, the fact that we do live in a bit of an age where it seems like it's, like, treated like the worst thing in the world to be wrong. I mean, after all, you learn some of them, like, you can learn the most when you find out that you don't actually know all the answers, because then it gives you a chance to maybe look at things from a different point of view, which is always good. And after all, that's what Obi-Wan Kenobi taught us in Return of the Jedi. Or it was just a completely bullshit line made to cover up a plot hole that was introduced accidentally. Well, not really a plot hole, but kind of... Well, no, I guess you could argue it was a plot hole, depending on your perspective, and basically just some ass covering, since, obviously, George Lucas did not think of the entire trilogy all at once in advance. But there are many lessons in life we can learn from Star Wars, like how only a Sith deals in absolutes. This is where the fun begins. Life can be surprising, but it can be a welcome surprise. That's really all the poorly recitated... That's a real word, I swear. The poorly recitated prequel memes that I've got right off the top of my head. More will... Wow, really? The end of the level already? Like, right here at the beginning. We have barely even begun. And, you know, with that in mind, we're, like, totally not going to... We're totally not going to risk that. Because that would be crazy and stupid, possibly. I'm also finding it mildly surprising that I'm apparently doing pretty okay. Duck. Even though we're in an awkward position of, well, one, you know, the whole, ooh, gaming by gaslight, drinking on the job. Very irresponsible. Don't drink on the job, friends. I mean, unless your job is literally to drink stuff. I mean, I don't think there's any job where you spend your whole day drinking alcoholic beverages. That would be a weird job, to be sure. But a welcome one for some people, no doubt. Not for me, I don't think. I value my illusion of being in control far too much for that. And thus, I could never allow myself to go all the way drunk. Maybe part of the way drunk, but not all the way drunk. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I've actually got, like, an ice grenade here, so I should, like, totally use it. Order to increase my own power. Oh, a food shop. I could have actually saved a charge there. Not that we really need it. I mean, 4 charges is generally enough. Whoop. I mean, the only thing I would like at this point for my run is... Oh, God. No, get out. That was far too messy. Much too messy. Very messy, very bad. No like whatsoever. Anyway, but we're actually doing pretty good, which is the important thing, and the entire thing that I've been sort of getting at here. We're doing good. Not great, but good, which is okay as far as I'm concerned. But I want to replace... I mean, I like this. But I think I'm gonna go with that, at least until we get ourselves some ice grenades or something. But then again, do we need the ice grenades? We've got a stun grenade, but then again, ice grenades last longer. I mean, that is, again, like, the perpetual question that's kind of, like, plaguing Dead Cells at this point, in my personal, humble, but not really humble opinion, is that it is a little bit too trivial to, like, ice powers. They kind of, a little bit, they trivialize the game just a little bit. Because, like, look at that. And if that had piercing on it, then, like, you know, GG, we're done. Ooh, cake. I love cake. It does push us past our threshold for power. And by power, I mean getting guaranteed critical hits, but probably for the best. As far as I'm concerned, anyway. Look at that. Killed him right off the bat. Oh, God. Look at that. All I need to do is make sure I just tap the old freeze-a-majig arrow, and there's not a dang diddly-ang thing they can do to stop me. And this leads... Oh, it just leads us to a chest. I figured this one would take us to the Watcher. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to go to the Watcher, but I sort of want to do, like, a nice, easy, casual run. And the Graveyard... Not that the Graveyard is, like, particularly difficult or anything. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, no. Okay, where'd you go? Nope. Oh, God. Well, I could have gone better, but it could have also gone a lot worse, to be honest with you. Oh. So I'm glad it went better rather than worse, because, you know, better rather than worse is always very nice. Very nice indeed. And that makes me happy. Also, I suppose another thing I kind of feel compelled to address is the fact that we've been kind of doing less Dead Cells on the channel lately, haven't we? Part of it is because I'm a little bit worried about burning out on the game. I mean, we have been, like, basically playing Dead Cells non-stop. More or less... Ow. More or less since we got it. And, you know, we still have a ways to go. So I don't want to ruin that by, you know, getting bored and burned out before time. But also, part of it is just, like, a bit of an ego thing. Hard mode is a lot harder, and I am more prone to dying in hard mode, so I gotta get over that bit. But once we get over that, then we will be fine. I mean, like I believe I've said before, like there is something that I like and like really appreciate about the fact that in hard mode, like I actually have to work a little bit harder because the risk of things going wrong is that much higher. Do I have something that's giving me more damage? Because these downward attacks are completely out there. Or alternatively, to use some really outdated jargon from the olden days, I could say it's off the hook, but, you know, that's really outdated. How outdated is that? It's so outdated that I can't even remember exactly what part of this millennium that's from. Good memory, Gaslight. Really good memory. Actually, when is the last time I've even heard anyone say that? Probably not since early 2000s. Does that sound about right? Sounds about right to me, so I'm gonna pretend it's right. Figure there might have been something down there, but there was not. So, away we go again. Oh, I love being mostly invincible. It's a good feeling. The only feeling that is better than being mostly invincible is being entirely invincible, but that is something that just doesn't exist in Dead Cells hard mode, and would kind of, I guess, defeat the entire purpose of the game if it was a thing, so don't worry about that. Yeah. Alright. Life is treating us well. Life is treating us well. We're powerful, we're strong. What do you want to place your bets that I fudge this run somehow? Find an excuse to get myself kill-a-majigged before the end. It's entirely possible that it could happen. And let's see, off the top of my head as I try to think here, if we go fight the Watcher, the options are still Slumbering Sanctuary or the Graveyard, right? But then again, I don't really want to fight the Watcher because I get more cells if I fight the incomplete one. You know, assuming we actually get the time door, which we totally will, because the time door is like 17 minutes, 30 seconds, or something around that line. Somewhere around there. And I will go, of course, with the delectable, delightful acceleration of our healing. Just in case. I mean, we want to stay at low health for this, so we do maximum damage. But, yeah. That's where I get a little bit scared, because that's where the Watcher comes in, or not the Watcher, that's where the Assassin possibly, gives us the old what for. And I can't say I look forward to that. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just gonna heal myself now, just to be safe there. You know, I kind of wondered to myself, you figure we should have, like, some kind of, like, special super double bonus if you manage to beat a boss without taking damage? You think that's necessary, or you figure, like, what would the bonus even be? Extra cells, a bit of money, stat upgrade, random weapon? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like something that's entirely strictly necessary, does it? So I'm not saying it's something that should be a thing, but if there was something... Actually, you know what would be good? Maybe, like, lets you use an extra mutation on the run? I don't know. A little something extra is always appreciated, no doubt. Alright, we should unlock something that scales with ranged. Let's make it the double-notch bow. And by ranged, I mean with, that. So we'll recycle you, and we'll pick up the double-notched bow. And life will be, ideally, yet a dream, once again. Should we go to Fogfjord? Ah, what the heck. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Because Slumbering Sanctuary normally has 2 free cell door things that give us cells for free, rather than... I mean, the time door is awesome as well, because it gives us 2 more stat upgrades. But I think it all balances out, more or less. You know, no matter where we go, because we get a little bit more here. Alright, so we're not quite strong enough to one-shot Chuckles, which is a shame. Alright, this also, what does this have? Enemies burn when they die, fires an arrow upwards, and fires an arrow in front of me. Okay, so we're basically firing, like, 4 arrows at any given time. We don't have armor or not armor. We don't have enemy penetration, though, so... Gotta keep our eyeballs on that. Also, we probably don't want to kill every single enemy, just in case the old cursed swordamajig is here. I'll get slightly less tactics. 712 DPS for 8 seconds. Yeah. You know, I remember back in the day when Corrupted Power, what was it? Did the power gave you, I forget, if it scaled with your tactics. But I know for sure that, like, the damage bonus it gave you was, like, ridiculous. Ridiculously awesome. Just to emphasize there. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Sweet merciful Neptune. Haha, you can't even hit me from here. Then again, I can't really hit you either, so I should not get too full of myself. Alright, what the heck, I'm just gonna kill everything. Because I am scared just a little bit. Alright, so that takes care of him. Yeah, there's plenty of enemies here to fight. I mean, we're kind of at half health. That does scare me just a tad. But not enough that I'm going to change what I'm doing. Alright, cool. I mean, Chuckles can't even... No. I mean, that's like actually really, really good. But we've already beat the game with the Hunter's Bow. And we've used the Hunter's Bow a number of times in the past, so we know what the Hunter's Bow offers, don't we? Gimme. I'm gonna die right here. Oh, never mind. It's not actually a cursed chest. I thought it was gonna be a cursed chest, and then we would die, but we didn't, so it's okay. Alright, shots pierce the target, so that's good. It gives us a little something there. Real pro work there, Gaslight. Real pro work. Okay, so this is the warpy portally bit. Yeah, what the heck. I mean, can the curse really hurt us? The answer is yes, but I mean, we're good at this game. We're like totally like pro tier Dead Cells players, probably, maybe. At least we pretend to be one on TV, so we've got that going for us. Okay, but pro strat, you always kill the golem. Like you don't mess around with the golem. You just kill the golem before anything else happens. Anything else. Like you don't to do anything else is just like career suicide right there. You know what else is kind of funny and also kind of sad? No, it's not that the dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had, but that would be pretty sad actually. But the what's funny is the fact that I almost don't even get scared of being cursed anymore. Like, I feel that's actually probably a bad thing that is going to get me killed. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, no, don't want that. I mean, I panicked there. That was mistake number. Oh hell. Nope. Okay, and there goes the curse, and there goes you. I mean, it is kind of a mad world, but it's not that mad, and it's not that sad either. It's actually a pretty good world, so I don't complain. Not too much, anyway. I sometimes complain. I mean, if you look over my entire catalog of videos, I'm probably sure you'll find I've done more than my fair share of complaining about stuff. Sometimes stupid stuff, even. But I am only human after all, so I can't really do anything about that. Also, I'm not entirely sure if I am intentionally, like, slipping in random lyrics from songs I've heard or not. But it's happening, apparently. So, you know, we can make that a thing. I mean, yeah, I'm not like an encyclopedia of any kind on that particular subject. Just, you know, when you're constantly surrounded by people listening to radios, listening to the music, you can't help but pick up lyrics. I say that as if there's like something bad with like knowing song lyrics, which there totally isn't. But at the same time, sometimes annoying, isn't it? You're just going around, you're trying to live your life, and then some idiot with a radio, you know, has a radio, and then suddenly there's a song that's stuck in your head for like the next 10,000 years, and nothing is gonna get it out of there. It's just wedged in like a very poorly done parking job. So, you know, got that. I'm not even going up there. Nothing but death and pain and suffering, and also more death. Don't forget the death. Nope, get out of there. Oh, get out of there too. Okay. Okay, Gaslight, man. You can totally... Oh god, oh god. Okay, they're frozen. They can't hurt you now. They even dropped you a delicious piece of cake to show how much they love you and respect you as a person. And respect cakes are the best kind of cakes, or so I've been told. I mean, I assume they're the best kind of cake anyway. Cakes that are born of love, rather than cakes that are born of hate. Don't eat the cake, the hate cake. Hate cake is probably not particularly good for your health. Do we want to go to the clock tower? We've gone to the clock tower the last couple of runs, haven't we? Maybe we'll hit up the old sepulcher. I mean, at the rate we're going, we do have the time. We could totally do it. But do we want to do it? That's the real question in life. And I think the answer to that is, yeah, maybe. Maybe we do. I mean, we'll have to do a lot of backtracking. But then again, there is like a whole other little canister full of 24 or so cells just waiting for us, and that's kind of like our whole purpose for being right now, isn't it? Is just harvesting as many souls as we can so we can unlock more cool stuff. Oh, there's a free turkey. I'm going to be a badass and recycle the turkey. Or not. I could have done it. I could have totally recycled that turkey, and they wouldn't have been able to stop me. But then again, I mean, what kind of a man thinks he's a badass for recycling a turkey? This man, apparently, is the answer to that question, in case you were wondering. And, alright, so here we go. Off we go. Oh yeah, there are some enemies there. There's some elites, and this is gonna be fun. Oh lord. Oh, heavens preserve us from this crazy town full of crazy people. Oh dear. Get out of my face. Did you see that? He literally slipped right off that ledge, like some kind of silly person, apparently. Whoop. And also, we are now getting money for all of our cells, which means that money is no longer a problem, considering, you know, how many cells we tend to get on these kinds of runs. Having said that, it is still not outside the realm of possibility that we will die, especially seeing as there are, like, a lot of tricky areas in yonder sepulcher. Oh dear. And it would be most remiss of us if we didn't make some effort. Do I want another ice grenade? Like, am I really like that? Am I really that cowardly that I have to fill up with, like, just constant icy, freezy items? The answer is yes, obviously, but, still. I can pretend I'm totally not a scrub doing this, going after the easy paths to victory and stuff. But, pretending doesn't make it true, does it? Oh, also, getting back to what I was saying earlier about, like, there being a bit less Dead Cells on the channel. Part of it's also just because I'm kinda... There's, like, a lot of different things I want to do on the channel right now. And I have to make some cuts here and there. So I figured, I could use a bit of a break from Dead Cells, so, you know, maybe do half as many Dead Cells videos as I normally do, and try some new stuff. And then, you know, just to shake things up a little bit, and then get back to our regularly scheduled broadcast, as we always do, sooner or later. Oh god. You can't get away from me, man. Just... Oh. Yeah, you see, look at that. We are pretty much the closest thing to invincible as you can get before, like, actually being invincible. But, alas, invincibility is not ours for the taking. Not yet, anyway. As much as I might dream of it, we still have much to do. And we'll get there. I mean, the big thing to watch out for is, like, if there ends up being, like, 10 million cursed chests in this level. Because if there are, then we might already be dooming ourselves to certain doom. And that would be less good. Okay, like, take here, for instance. Oh, I can smell it. I can smell the cursed chest from all the way over here. Alright. Okay, curse. Whoop. Wow, that was easy. Like, painfully easy. So easy that I hardly know what I was worried. Oh, wait. Do you want my money? There's still enemies down here to fight, right? We can't ignore them. We want to fight them and get all the delicious, juicy, gooey cells that we can possibly get with our ill-deserved gains and awesome awesome, sexy powers of being able to shoot two bows, or two bows. If we could shoot two bows at the same time, if we could shoot a bow that shot other bows, that then shot arrows, that then shot guns, then we would be unstoppable. But, alas, we don't have that kind of power, so we can only shoot two arrows, Legolas style, which I'm pretty sure is actually not even possible. Maybe it is, though. I could be wrong. It's entirely possible there actually exists a bow that is designed to shoot multiple arrows at the same time. But if there is such a bow, I have never seen it. But then again, maybe that's because I'm not into the whole archery scene. Not too much, anyway. I remember back in school, we had like an archery day, and I found it kind of fun. But it's also getting kind of dark and spooky here. But yeah, I never really like followed through with it or anything. By which I mean, like, I don't actually, now that I think about it, I don't think we had an archery club. So I wouldn't have been able to follow through and do more of it anyway. But, you know, it was fun. I was okay at it. I wasn't, like, the best in the class or anything. But then again, nor was I the worst. I could hit the target, like, 9 times out of 10, and hit a pretty juicy part of the target 9 times out of 90. So, you know, that's not bad. Well, a little better than 9 times out of 90, but, you know, still. I wasn't going to, put on a green hood, get stranded on some kind of crazy island, then be stranded there for like 5,000 years, and then come back and save my city from a bunch of corrupt people, and then gradually completely lose track of the plot from there. And, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, I seem to make a recurring habit of kind of poking some fun at the old green arrow there, don't I? To be honest, it's because, like, everything I ever knew about Green Arrow was that he was basically the poor man's Batman. But, you know, that's, like, not strictly true. I mean, you know, aside from the Arrow Cave, Arrowmobile, Arrow Rangs, whatever ripoffs. There's more. The Arrow family, there you go. That's in there. Etc., etc. But then again, also, I mean, Green Arrow did do some storylines that were, you know, kind of its own. Like, they dealt with drugs. You had Speedy. I mean, then again, with a name like Speedy, I suppose you shouldn't be surprised to find your compatriot and partner in vigilantism doing drugs, probably, maybe. But then again, I mean, that is like a serious issue, isn't it? Getting addicted, dealing with addiction, recovering from addiction, surviving after that, where, like, you know, like, it's not just like something you turn off, it's like something you literally have to live with for the rest of your life. You have to live with all the things you did while you were addicted, which you may not be proud of. I mean, depending on how severe your addiction was and what it was you were addicted to. You also have to deal with the fact that, like, even if you do get clean, there's always going to be that one subset of the population who are, like, total assholes and will, like, never let you live it down. I don't really have any experience with this, like, personally, but, you know, I've seen it happening to, like, greater or lesser degrees. And, you know, I mean, which I think is terrible. I mean, like, you know, someone makes an effort to improve themselves, but if they made mistakes in the past, and you're still shitting on them for the mistakes of their past, I mean, like, come on, man. Like, cut a guy a break is all I'm saying. Or a gal, for that matter. I mean, addiction can happen to anyone. Not that I really need to specify that, I just randomly felt like specifying it. It's a thing. I can do it if I want to. For some reason. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, that, actually, speaking of drugs, though, and, like, its handling in comic books, it's kind of funny sometimes. Like, in fact, not just comic books, but the media in general, where they, like, blow drugs, like, into ridiculous proportions, like beyond what like any normal person would think. That's not how drugs work. In order to try, you know, scaring the kids straight. I kind of wonder how effective that would have actually been. I mean, for someone like myself, who was always kind of a... kind of a goody two-shoes and whatnot, probably would have worked a little bit on me, like just scaring them straight. But, I mean, does it really work? Does scaring someone really make them less likely to do something? Or will they go running to it for rebellion? Which, I guess speaking of, and getting back to like, excuse me, my previous drink I alluded to earlier, you know, my parents were actually pretty open about drinking. Like, they're like, you know what, we don't care if you kids drink. You know, we just do it responsibly, and we'd rather, like, you do it here instead of, like, out in the street somewhere. And perhaps because of that, I mean, that might have played a part in why I myself never felt like I had to, you know, go drinking or anything. My brother was a slightly different story. I mean, I feel like saying that kind of implies that he is or was an alcoholic, which is like not even a little bit accurate. But he oh god, no, not like this. Okay, you guys can go screw yourselves. Thank you very much. Anyway, but like he enjoyed having a drink more than I did, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you were gonna go out for a drink, he was the guy you'd want to have as your drinking buddy. And whatnot. I mean, of course, then again, given some of the stories he told me about his time drinking out with the old boys, kind of made me think, like, damn, I'm glad I never drank, because I remember him telling me this story once. Actually, now that I think about it, should I really be relating stories like this? Anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, at least one time he got into a hilarious situation where he was drunk, and, you know, he very wisely chose not to walk home, and, you know, he just, like, slept in a ditch or something. You know, rather than get behind the wheel and possibly kill himself. Which, you know, that is actually very responsible, but plot twist, it was the middle of the winter. A Canadian winter. He didn't die, by the way. I mean, I wouldn't be telling the story if he died. He was perfectly fine. And it also occurs to me, actually, to be honest, I should have my brother on the channel sometime. I mean, he could tell you some stories. He's the more adventurous one of the two of us, my brother and I. He's the one who has, like, all the crazy stories and, like, is living life to its fullness that you could possibly full. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Whereas I hate that so much. Whereas I was always the one who, and I guess even now, to this very day, I tend to play it safe and cautious and have, in some cases, even, I would say, I've missed out on some opportunities in my life because I was always, I shouldn't go do that. But having said that, even though I may have missed out on some exciting possible opportunities, relationships, adventures, travel, and whatnot, I don't regret anything. Like, I'm still happy with where my life has taken me thus far, and there's still, you know, barring some kind of freak accident, still a lot left to go. But I do try to be at least a little bit more open to the possibility of adventure than I was even just a couple of years ago. Oh. No, you don't. Oh, look at that. Sweet. Can I kill her before she shoots me with the arrows? The answer is probably not. Good job, Gaslight. Oh, okay, actually, yeah, there she goes. That was, you know what? I don't hear her, like, going, ah, when she dies anymore. She used to make noises, but now she doesn't. The assassins had her vocal cords ripped out. Which, I mean, I would probably do that too if I was hiring some kind of crazy assassin person. Don't want them revealing my deep, dark secrets, of which there are many, many. Deep. Dark. Very deep. And also very dark. But anyway, that was another pretty good win, pretty good run, I would say. You know what, actually, I'm kind of looking at this. Like, is it just me, or are there, like, is there a disproportionately high number of, well, I guess we're looking at ranged weapons, but I was going to say, isn't there a disproportionately high volume of tactics things? And comparatively, I'm not seeing, like, a lot of items that would make good main survival. I don't even know why I'm recycling these. It doesn't matter anymore. But, like, to main your survival branch of skills. So, yeah. We'll talk about that in the next video, assuming I don't forget. But for now, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button or maybe leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. And I will see all you in the next video.